Gearheads, morons, moochers, how are we? It's the free edition of Moron Money. We do this twice a week on patreon.com/blindmike. And then we check in with you cheapskates every Friday to let you know what's going on in the world of finance. Typically, we get into more thorough news stories on Sundays and Thursdays on patreon.com/blindmike. But here we'll kind of give you the gist, sum everything up, send you out in the world to do your own research, and then come back, leave a comment, tell me if you think I've said anything interesting or if I'm off my rocker. Either way, leave a comment, smash the like button, as they say, subscribe, and tell a friend, because all that helps with the algorithm, helps us get some peepers, some eyeballs on these bad boys. So basically, what I have to say this week is we are running out of Bitcoin. Don't let them scare you. We are running out of Bitcoin. You'll see stuff like the Gemini story on Monday, or every 2 weeks they tell you that India is going to ban Bitcoin. All these things are FUD, as they say, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that are thrown out there to scare the little guy into selling their Bitcoin. So if you have weak hands, as the kids call it, then you will likely see some of this news, see the price dropping, and ditch your Bitcoin. Do not let them scare you, because a lot of this is whale manipulation. A lot of it is just things that happen. They try to make you believe is bearish news, but the news that I talk about every week here is always bullish. It's always good news in the world of Bitcoin. The real news, anyways, not this, dare I say, fake stuff that's been thrown out there. The real news is, we talked about this week that the CEO of Visa says essentially that Bitcoin could take over within the next 5 years. We've seen Visa, PayPal, MasterCard, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all the, the First Bank of New York, all these financial institutions have put their stamp of approval on Bitcoin. And now Morgan Stanley has gotten into the mix. I don't know how many more. Morgan Stanley is now essentially offering Bitcoin to their richer clients. If you got buku bucks with Morgan Stanley, then you can now get Bitcoin. What does all this mean? It means that the rich are getting into Bitcoin, and they're doing anything they can to get it at the cheapest price possible. Now, what I want is for idiots like me and the idiots that watch this program to make as much money as they can, to not be left out. We could be the 1%, baby. And we're getting to the point where it's not, it's not a scam. It's not this magical lottery ticket that people are hoping for. It's genuinely not only the next store of value, but probably I think it will be legitimate for transactions as well. With, I heard a very good podcast yesterday where they were talking about the Lightning Network and the benefit that has. We've talked about that here before, where essentially it'll be a split second to make Bitcoin transactions around the world, so that 3 transaction per second number that you hear about will eventually be deemed irrelevant, I think, if they keep improving this technology. The CEO of NYDIG this week also said that next week expect some crazy news to drop about Bitcoin and a major player making it easy for you to access Bitcoin. Now, like I said, we've already got so many major players involved. Who else is there? Now, when you look at the percentage of people around the world that own Bitcoin, it's pretty small. So I guess there are a lot of people that still need to get into Bitcoin, which also makes it bullish for me. The rich are trying to buy it all up. I would say don't let them. I personally, now I can never tell you what to do with your money. This is in no way financial advice. Entertainment value only, and I think of it as a springboard to your own research. So take what I say here, go to the Google machine, and do what you will with it, and get your own findings and leave them in the comments. But me personally, I took that stimulus check and I divided it up. I diversified it a little bit. So I am kind of between Bitcoin. I'll throw a little in the stock market, even though I don't trust it, because we just printed trillions more dollars. We've printed 40% of the money in circulation has been printed in the last year. So that should scare you away from the dollar. Typically, people who have a ton of money don't have their money in cash. They have it in assets that can increase in value over time. And that's what I've been doing. Whether it's Bitcoin, I have a little bit of Ethereum, I have a good amount of Cardano, XRP, and I have a handful of Dogecoin in case it ever takes off. I do think there are some weird things happening with Dogecoin when you see guys like Cuban and Elon Musk get involved. I think there will be a day where it hits $1, but I am not by any means betting the house on it. I have a small handful that if it gets to $1, I'll say that's a pretty nice payday. But if it never happens, I won't miss the money. I don't think you should, risk anything on Dogecoin really, but it is worth, thinking about because, like I said, guys like Cuban and Elon Musk getting involved. There's some strange things happening with Dogecoin. It's stayed at that 5 cent price for a while, which makes me think something might be happening in the world of Dogecoin. But so I diversified. But a great man named Willie Woo once said that you should accumulate one full Bitcoin until you start getting into other cryptocurrencies. So stick with Bitcoin first, accumulate one full one if you can at this point, um, and then start looking into other things. Now, I would amend that even because it's so difficult to get one Bitcoin now to say that 0.28 Bitcoin equates to the top 1% of the world. If Bitcoin is the world currency one day and you have 0.28, mathematically, you will be in the top 1%. Now, because so many Bitcoin have just disappeared, because people have, tossed them, literally tossed them out with the trash, not knowing what they were back in the day, and now can't access them. That number is a lot smaller than 21 million. Some people say 18, some people say even less. Um, which would suggest that even point 0.1 Bitcoin or I'm sorry, point 0.1 or 0.01, I think I've even seen thrown out there, would give you a substantial amount of Bitcoin and make you rather wealthy in 10 years or whenever we get to the state that I think we will be in with Bitcoin. So if you are looking to diversify, what should you put it in? Some people have asked me about things like Bitcoin Cash. I just talked about Dogecoin. I think Bitcoin Cash is more of a scam because the reason Bitcoin Cash was invented was to scam people. Basically, it was to make you believe that you were just buying Bitcoin or you were buying Bitcoin 2.0 or something. That's why you see those listed on any exchange you have. You see, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, things like that. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make money off those. You can, if you play it right, you could definitely make a profit off Bitcoin Cash. I just don't trust it at all because, like I said, its literal intention was to be a scam. So what I would look at is more the trusted allies, and I've talked about Uniswap and Cosmos and things like that, Algorand, that may definitely have value, and I think you're going to see a day where you see all cryptos really surge off the back of Bitcoin and Ethereum. But the ones that will last for the long haul and not, I don't even think it's all of these, but I think these are the ones you should look at more. First of all, obviously, they say that if Bitcoin is digital gold, Ethereum is digital oil, and Litecoin is digital silver. Hearing a lot of bullish news about Ethereum lately, particularly that with the second layer, that may be done by June, I think is the timeline on that. Excuse me. People believe that not only will Ethereum fix some of those gas price issues that we've been talking about, but they are going to start burning Ethereum when it hits a certain number. So essentially, there will be scarcity on Ethereum. There will be a limited number. Right now, there is no limit to how many Ethereum can be in circulation. Um, Evidently, there will be down the road, which is very bullish news for Ethereum because, like we've learned with Bitcoin, when there's a limited number, that actually means it has some value. Um, and Ethereum is apparently heading down that road. Now, what does that mean for Cardano? I still like Cardano, and I think as long as Charles Hoskinson is alive and breathing, he will do whatever he can to take Ethereum down. So I do have a healthy amount of Cardano, and I have some Ethereum. But my thought on Ethereum is when people were selling it. Well, why? Nothing has changed. You knew about the gas prices, and if they're able to fix that, then Ethereum is still the asset that you thought it was. So, look for bullish news with Ethereum. Um, and the other question would be, can Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Algorand, can all of those exist in the same space? That's what I don't know either. Is there room for two of them? Is there room for Ethereum and a Cardano? Those, I believe, ADA and ETH are the leaders, in my opinion, and the most reliable and trustworthy based on some of the smart contracts they have and just the lead that they have on the other platforms. But there may be room for others that I don't know yet. Like I've said, is there room for Coke and Pepsi, or is there not? I'm not sure of that. You'll have to look to a smarter man to tell you that. But I also have some XRP and Chainlink, both getting into sort of the NFT space, which I think is big for the time being. It's bullish short term news. But my thoughts on NFTs are essentially they are a fad. It is a bubble that will burst, just like baseball cards and Pokemon cards and Beanie Babies. There's a limited time on it, but that doesn't mean you can't make money on it. I will not buy NFTs because I don't understand what makes an NFT of the first tweet ever any different than a screenshot of it. You're not going to convince me that that has value. But to some people, it does. And to a lot of people, the reason the fashion industry is big is because we've decided that authentic means something. So a real Louis Vuitton is worth more than a fake Louis Vuitton, even if it's the exact same thing, but the logo is a little different. We've just decided that certificate of authenticity means something, which gives, if we decide it, then that's what gives NFTs value. So I don't like it. I don't trust it. But that doesn't mean you can't make money on it. Look into it, do your own research, and see what you think. But regardless, for short-term bullish news, XRP and Chainlink are kind of in that space, and those are the main ones that I would look at if you're putting your stimulus check into the crypto space. Obviously, look at Bitcoin. I think that's where the smartest money is. But then, if you're looking to diversify, Ethereum, Cardano, Chainlink, XRP, um, Polkadot, I guess. I don't have much Polkadot right now, but those would be the options that I would be looking at, and then everything else is fine. But I think you should look at those first, especially if you're just getting into crypto. Look at those first before you start getting crazy with, uh, you know, any of the other smaller cap coins that you're looking to make a quick buck on. I think that's about it as far as news. I did want to recommend to you guys a podcast that I listened to with Anthony Pompliano. Anthony Pompliano was a guest on the Flagrant 2 with Andrew Schulz and Akash Singh, and it was very good. My one criticism of it will be, and I saw I think Pomp got a little snarky with this on Twitter. He liked my tweet and then seconds later tweeted, good morning to everyone except the keyboard warriors out there. Although I suspect it wasn't just me, because I think a lot of people may have had this observation. But if you listen to it, Andrew Schultz has he's got a certain swagger about him. There used to be a word that you would associate with his inflection and how he speaks. I don't think you can say that anymore. But, he talks very New York. Let's put it that way. He's got a certain accent. And when Andrew does it, it's very genuine. But you see Pomp trying to be one of the kids. He's cursing a lot. Ah, shit, man. He's trying to be very cool. So that gives you a little bit of douche chills. But wade through that. And I think Pomp does give you a lot of good information. And I think Andrew does a great job of asking questions that are, meaningful to people that are just getting in Bitcoin. Pomp laughs at him like a smug bastard for some reason. But I think the questions are perfect for someone getting into the Bitcoin space that doesn't necessarily know a lot. And even me, I've been around it for a while. I liked hearing Pomp talk about some of that stuff, cleared some stuff up for me. So check that out. If you're wondering, where's someone a little more coherent that I can listen to talk about Bitcoin, I thought Andrew Schultz on Flagrant 2 did a very good job. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take that one down. But go check that out. Go check out Pomp. Pomp does a good job on CNBC. He's very convincing. He does a good job convincing you about Bitcoin. He has 96% of his wealth in Bitcoin. So trust him if you will, but he does. He gives a compelling argument. So go check that out. Check out patreon.com/blindmike, where you can get 2 of these bad boys per week behind the paywall. And there's a bunch of other content up there as well, obviously. And the free episode of the Blind Mike Project comes out every Monday. So subscribe, check out Blind Mike Proj on Twitter, Blind Mike Project on Instagram. And until next time we talk to you, gearheads, morons, keep making that money.